using my own destruction.
Let's get it on.
It's been a while. Do you want me to break?
Yeah, sure.
Let me do this.
For the best.
I'm a bit rusty. What?
So,
Yeah.
what does it feel not to be the mystery man anymore?
I mean, I don't know. Life is normal, I guess. I've always felt like sooner or later somebody was going to know anyway, you know. So to be celebrated by my organization is a beautiful thing. They don't do that for
So you
everyone.
don't miss anything from being behind the dark shade?
I don't miss the abuse. the abuse was wow. You know, I don't miss that at all. You know, which one went in?
I'm on stripe, so you're on spot.
I don't miss the abuse at all.
I'm on stripe, you're on spot.
Oh, okay. I do not miss that part.
Looking forward to our first fight, our first argument, most importantly, our first night.
I miss some of my colleagues though.
Put up the candlelights.
You miss your colleagues, huh?
Yes, I do. Some of them, not all.
It's all about it.
Let me see. You know, got this one here. There you go.
So how did you end up as the handler?
It was totally by accident, to be honest. When I started the job in 2014, I had spoken to one of my bosses then about, you know, what I intended to do. At that time, the commissions page was not verified, and I thought, you know, obviously the EFCC, it's a big organization, it should be verified.
Yep.
You know, and then I noticed certain things that, you know, shouldn't. I felt like it could be run better, basically. The account could be run better. At that time, he really didn't give me the chance to do it. You know, so I just forgot about it, and you know, I went on to other assignments. Sometime in 2016, you know, I think my director thought, okay, you know what, let's give it to this guy, let's see what he can do with it, you know, and it just happened, you know. It was actually the least of my duties.
Whilst you were doing it?
Yeah, it was something I just did when I get home, and you know.
Yeah, well, you ran your page for 24 hours though. I mean, at least it looks like that.
Well, it looked like that, but it's like when you run your own account, man. Your phone is with you, or your gadgets are with you, your tablet, whatever. You know, it's not that difficult to respond to people on the go.
Did you like have a formal training?
No.
So all of that was organic and natural talent.
Yeah, it was very organic. What I will say though is I have always been the observant type. So I had known the do's and don'ts of handling a corporate account, you know, versus handling a personal account. You know, so basically I brought a bit of my personality to the job. I just had to refine it.
Yeah.
You know, for corporate speak, so to speak. You know, so yeah, no formal training. I'd love to go back to school though. You know, back it up with something academic. Look at that. 2 shots for the boy. Okay.
So at what point did you realize that you guys were up to something with your accounts?
I think when one of my bosses called me and he told me about, in fact, two of them, my director and then the spokesperson of the commission, told me about a text message that he got from a lady at the BBC, I think Stephanie Hegarty. I can't really pronounce her name. And then my director also got some messages from, you know, I think radio stations, you know, friends in the media.
Yeah.
Like, who's the person running your accounts? You know, the person is doing a good job, and you guys should double his salary, that kind of talk, you know. So I think that was when I figured, wow, you know, something's really going on here. You know, so yeah.
Look like you want to look at your guy, huh?
Let's see how I go do now. I have to win this match. They're recording.
So in an atmosphere like the civil service where everybody's all about what they can get and you don't really get to have the teamwork stuff. Now you can tell us the truth. You're no longer in the civil service. You don't need to coin it. How difficult was it for you, you know, with your colleagues who felt like, what's this one feeling like? It's trying to feel like he's a star, like who's this guy?
You mean when the accolades start coming in?
Yeah.
Well, I always tell people that there's a certain level of excellence that you will exhibit that, you know, will bring you nothing but envy. I mean, to bring you accolades, definitely, but with accolades come envy too. And I'd be lying to say I never felt any of that, but it never really stops my job. Like, you can, whatever you feel is whatever you feel.
Yeah.
You get me? It doesn't bother me. You know, I'm human. Obviously, once in a while, you know, you see some comments or certain people that, you know, you trusted or are supposed to be your friends. You know, you hear them say certain things, and you just, you know, like, I thought we were cool. You know, why didn't you come to me first and speak to me about it? But at the end of the day, the job must be done. You know, and I did what I had to do.
If you were a footballer, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, regular player, all of a sudden, superstar player, everybody's talking about him, CNN, BBC making calls. Some two things are possible. You're going to start talking about a new salary, a new contract, or some other clubs wanting you. How did you deal with that? Did you like get a raise? Did you get a promotion? The accolades?
Well, to be fair to my former employer, the acting chairman was going to promote me, but I don't think I stuck around long enough for that. You know, to be fair to him, they were going to do that. As far as pay rise, I really don't know. I mean, it's government, it's the public service, so 2 shots, I think.
Yeah.
You have to
So at no
satisfy
time,
your.
at no time did you get a raise for all that work?
No, I did not. But it's not their fault or anything. I just wasn't. I didn't stick around long enough for that to work out.
Okay.
You know, so there were talks of that, yes. But I had to leave when I had to leave, you know, so, you know, I can't really blame them for that.
You chose to leave when the ovation was loudest?
Not really, to be honest. I have personal aspirations that I've been working on for a long time. It just happened to, you know, coincide with everything I was doing on the platform, and, you know, I'd always known that I had a time limit to be in the public service, and my time just happened to be up at the time it was.
So
you know,
what would those personal aspirations be then?
A few people that know me know I've been in the music industry for a while, since 2007, I think, and you know, I always tell my friends, it doesn't matter what I do, music will always be my first love. Even if I become president tomorrow, you know, I'll still enter the studio, probably have the first presidential hip-hop artist. You know, so I'd always wanted to do my own thing musically, and then effectively run a corporate communications company.
Let's brighten up your day.
What's this?
It's Arsenal Opus, bro.
Looks like an Arsenal cake.
It's not an Arsenal cake. It's everything there is to know about your favorite club, Arsenal.
Oh wow. Signed by Arsene.
Arsene Wenger signed it.
Whoa.
There are only 58 copies. Sorry, this is number 58 of 1,500 copies.
Yeah. And you got one?
Yeah.
Very,
very kind friend.
Wow.
Arsenal's history from the beginning.
From the beginning, it definitely is captured the Invincibles.
The Invincibles, of course.
I have a DVD of that, the 49 unbeaten.
Thierry Henry, Arsene Wenger with all the...
I like this guy, I like him. I like him, boy.
He's not leaving when he didn't leave when the ovation was loud.
You know?
My hand wasn't there. This just popped up by itself.
Who is this?
The king,
Henry,
bro.
Igwe.
The king.
Salute. Salute to the king.
TH14. It's just a different Arsenal now.
Wow.
So when you look at Arsenal today, how do you feel? Almost like every new season, it looks like there's an expectation of failure or some level of mediocrity. You think you can win the FA Cup, get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which is actually a big deal these days. How does that make you feel?
To be honest, I used to think every other season, you know how it is now. New season, new players,
new hope.
You know, we're going to, you know. But then you watch the first few games and it just drains you, you know. And I know people would say, why don't you support another club? That's not how is that possible? You know, if my wife can't give me a child, I'm not going to leave her. You know, she's my wife.
So Arsenal like your wife?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, but there is divorce though, so...
Yeah, there's divorce.
Like the Arsenal thing is actually deeper than that. A lot of Arsenal fans that they've left their wives, but they've not left Arsenal, even though I think Arsenal has committed more grave sins than their wives probably did.
I know, right? But I don't know.
Deeper than they married, bro.
Yeah, I think I'm just loyal like that. I would always love the club.
What do you see for the future? Do you think anything good is going to come out?
No, it has to.
Downtime.
It has to. It can't remain like that forever. You know, I like Wenger a lot. He's outside football, you know. He's deep. You know, he's a great man. When you listen to him, Wenger is the kind of person that you could be pissed off with, and by the time you have a one-on-one with him, you unknowingly you might want to start reasoning, you know, with him.
It's in my dictionary.
You understand. So he's a great guy, but sometimes.
Do you think he would make a good president?
He will, actually. He will. He's that kind of person. He's the kind of person that, you know, I think everybody matters to him. He doesn't like to pick sides, or I think everybody matters to him.
You don't think he's too dogmatic when it comes to his ideas?
Yeah. Yes and no. Yes, because you know it's so frustrating. Like you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. No, because sometimes you agree with him, you know, especially when you think about the astronomical fees that are going for some players. And you know, a couple of years ago, he mentioned how you know this oil money is going to ruin the game and everything. And you see people like, you know, I'm sorry, Kyle Walker, you know, but it's going for 50 million. And you're like, how? You know, like it's messed up. You know, so I think at some point, you know, the curtains will close. You know, I need him to go out on a high because he deserves it. You know.
Anyways, talking about who is going out on a high, a lot of your old fans sent in some questions.
Yeah.
Tayo Arobudade, that's at Tayo Aro says, can you take over Donald Trump's handle?
No, that's a poison chalice. No way.
Okay. Danny
Okay.
Sacrosanct says, what offer for employment have you gotten since you left
A lot.
EFCC?
A lot. I can't mention them though, but a lot.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
At Matorali says, would you ever consider handling the Nigerian police online?
Poison chalice.
Oh my God.
No way. No way.
KJN Waoji, with the art sign, of course. Where do you draw your inspiration, motivation from?
It's a bit like the Slumdog Millionaire. If you've seen the movie, yeah, the protagonist Jamal, you know, he answered those questions not necessarily because he was the most intelligent or whatever. He was just able to draw on like different experiences from his life, you know, which
lived through it.
You understand. So I mean, people like, oh, F.SHAW is so vast. How did he? Well, the thing is, when it comes to music, obviously I'm an artist, you know. Then you come to politics. Yeah, I like to know a bit of what's going on in the world. You come to armory or guns. I work for law enforcement. You know, so it's a bit of everything.
You work for or you worked for?
Worked for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked for. Sorry, sometimes. I just left recently. You know, so yeah, so it's a mixture of everything. Everything just became a totality of.
They're coming together
of you know, different parts. Yes, my experiences. You know, places I've been. You know.
At Paul Ademujimi, who is at AB492, says, what kind of training did you subject yourself to? What's your focus and mode of training? I think people really want to see
like how
what made you become, rather than see that you had become and you just had a tool to express your becoming.
It's a difficult question to answer, to be honest, because to be really honest, at some point I had to start questioning my own mental state, you know, because it was rolling off too easy, you know.
It was intuitive.
Yes, you know, like it's just in my blood, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I look at certain things and I'm like, guy, are you alright? As in, are you even okay?
Tell me, when we get to the library, we should talk about King's College and the whole of this.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I'm biased. Boyega Flore, Boyega_Adeoya says, what attracted you to PR and US Intel? And what plans do you have in terms of communications as a career?
What attracted me to PR? And, okay, for the PR part, that was purely by accident, but I've always leaned towards. I consider myself a better writer than speaker. I don't really like to talk.
I think most people are better writers than speakers.
I
think that's understanding, right?
I think so. I think Barack Obama is a great speaker.
Writing allows you to edit, to remove and stuff.
Yeah.
Once you get on the stage with the microphone,
it's a different ball game. Yeah.
The writing, you take it out.
Yeah, true.
Except it's an edited speech. So I think naturally, most people are better, right?
Yeah, but me personally, I don't even like to talk. I like my pen will always be louder than, you know,
your voice.
Exactly. I don't really like to make a
But isn't your pen your voice?
It is, in a way.
In a different form.
Just in a different form.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, I've always had a thing for writing. And my mom read English and literature, and I remember she held a piece up one time that I had written, and she was like, well, I read English and literature, I didn't even write as good as this, you know. So,
Can I see that?
yeah, you know, so I've always had that for writing and PR. For US Intel, obviously working with the commission, I think most of us, when we watch movies, we always want to be the FBI agent and CIA. And, I've always had a thing for that right from when I was little. So it just happened that, I got an opportunity to work with the commission, and that was great for me. So yeah.
I'd like to know, not me, Senator _110 says, how old are you? Because according to him, he's done the math, right? If you served in 2007, you must be close to 40 years old. And then what's your 2-year plan?
What's my 2-year plan? Sounds like somebody's about to give me...
I don't know if you're going to answer.
No, I'm 32 in October. So I don't know how close that is to 40, but
that's the big factor.
Yeah, so I'm 32 in October.
That's 2 presidential terms.
Yeah. So
you want to divulge your 2-year plan?
No.
That's good.
The things I do always find a way to make it to the big screen, so you will know.
So again, Senator 110 says, did you ever receive death threats while working for the EFCC?
Not directly, but working for that kind of agency, it came a dime a dozen. But personally, me, not directly. I mean, some of my family members did not even know I was there, so...
I mean, how did you keep it away from everybody? I mean, almost everybody.
Almost everybody. I don't know.
What was the reaction like when, your relatives, your sisters and stuff?
Fake annoyance, but they were really proud. At least that way, I can always keep your secrets.
So Symbiat at Symbiz says, did you ever sleep as a handler? Like you were always available, according to her. How did you manage the online and offline life?
It wasn't difficult at all. I mean, we're always with our phones, right? So if your babe sends you a message at 2 a.m., what are you going to say that you're sleeping?
I asked a question I already asked at the pool table. You say, what were you feeling like when people hailed the way you answered people back then? This one was one I asked already, like how you got to become the handler. What did you feel like when you, with the hailings and stuff?
It was great. I'm human.
You're a rapper, and rappers really...
Yeah, I'm human. When you see things like that, it makes you happy. Obviously, they're doing something right. But I was also careful not to get carried away. Because one mistake and they will hang a noose around your neck, and the same people that were hailing you will be quick to burn you.
Especially on Twitter.
So...
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was great, but I was careful not to get carried away.
At Rofa Santen, Rafil Sani says, how were you able to remain sane and calm in the face of some provocative and disrespectful comments back then?
What am I going to do? Abuse them back? It's a corporate account. You can't. There are certain things you can't do, even if personally you would look at it like, guy, if I catch you, that kind of thing. But I think it was also some form of training for me to be able to put a leash on my...
Impatience?
Is that the word, leash?
Yeah.
To be able to restrict myself. It was some form of training for me. So when I see some of those vitriol, I just look at it like, okay, you're doing well, you're not talking, you're not typing anything.
Bro, man, it took me a long time to get there, but I did get there. But before I got there, bro, I was...
Yes, you can. It's difficult, though. It's difficult.
So the funny thing is, those that were telling me to calm down in the early days when these guys would come for me and I would go back and give it back to them, I used to tell them, look, this thing is hard. I have 30,000 followers, a lot of them, and some of them are just crazy. They're like, you need to calm down. So now, those guys are there where I was with this many of followers. They are there.
Okay.
And I see them go ballistic.
They're going, and you see.
I don't tell them, I'll be like, I told you.
No, so it's natural to react that way. But when you are with, when you have that kind of platform, that kind of organization, you cannot.
You have to hold yourself.
You have to hold yourself.
So, Ikechukwu Obiajulu says, do fear and doubt ever creep in as regards too much expectations from the people? I guess as a handler now.
Too much expectations of me.
Like people had come to expect a lot from that handle. The way you answered questions and the way you did things.
Okay.
Like, were there times where you feel like, I mean, to keep up with this pace?
Yes, of course. Yes, a lot.
I didn't ask this question. Ewa Jesu
Okay.
says, are your replies born out of a free-spirited nature or deep meditation?
Free-spirited nature.
Free-spirited nature. Funny question. Mero is smart.
Okay.
Says, what's the connection between you and Dr. Joe Alba?
He's my in-law.
Your in-law?
I'm just kidding.
Dude, this is the open market space. You don't want to say you're not a free agent, right?
A couple of years ago, I had seen him at some function and I heard him speak and I really liked, what he talked about. So one time I was on holiday in England and I saw him on Twitter. I wasn't sure if it was his real account, but I sent him a message like, sir, I would like to send you, I wrote an article titled Corruption and the Strange Public Service Rule, because I have a problem with that public service rule that says public servants, civil servants cannot do business. So I had written like an opinion piece about it and I wanted him to like look through it. And he responded like, yeah, I should send it through. And when he read it, he was very happy. Like, he actually said he was going to take some of the things I mentioned there, and he was in the process of, I think, presenting something to the presidency on civil and public service reforms, so to speak, and that he thought it was a timely article. So from that point, we just grew a rapport and everything.
Nice. Yeah. Italomuo says in the comments, says, do you speak Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba fluently because you were able to respond to tweets with all the 3 languages effortlessly?
No, not fluently, but I know bits and pieces, and wherever I get stuck, like I think one of the biggest ones that made waves was the Igbo one. I knew the proverb in English, but I didn't, you'd be surprised what you find online. I actually found the proper, proverb online. And
so you got some help, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ayanfe at Mago says, do you really sell your CDs to yourselves and by yourselves? Because of course you mentioned you must not know me.
Oh,
she really has an ear for your music.
Yeah, it's true.
So is that true? Like I sold my CDs to myself.
Yeah, I even sold my CDs to myself. Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah, I mean, during my walkabout days, made a couple of 1,000 CDs, sold to people. Sold to myself.
Aturaya says, how were you able to conceal being the handler from your family and even your girlfriend? This person is assuming you have a girlfriend.
I don't know. I don't have a girlfriend. No, I don't.
Are you sure about that?
I don't.
There won't be any argument after this.
No, don't be. Okay. No, nobody was going to break anything in the house or anything. No, I don't have a girlfriend. How was I able to conceal my identity? It wasn't difficult really, because personally, there's a way I live my life.
Yeah.
Almost like some spy agent, so to speak. So it wasn't difficult at all.
At Mushroom 11, Enyafelama says, what was your grade in English language when you wrote WAEC?
B3.
B3. Okay, that's still
not
distinction,
bad.
right? So it shows, and I guess since then you've become some sort of monster. Okay, that's it for that. But I have something. I call it the firing squad right now.
Okay.
So you don't have time to think too much about it. You don't have to explain why you choose what you choose. Just give me your option.
Okay.
I give you 2 options. You tell me which you prefer.
Which one?
Don't worry. Why because controversies, but people will understand it. You really think about it. And you have no room for no. You have to choose one.
I have no room for no.
Yeah.
But
you have to choose one.
I might create my own rule as it goes on.
One-night stand or a serious relationship?
Serious relationship.
Ladies,
why are they laughing?
I didn't say anything.
Serious relationship.
Lagos or Abuja?
Lagos.
Rap or R&B?
Rap.
Omotola or Genevieve?
Oh my goodness, why would you do this?
Come on, choose one now.
Genevieve, because Omotola is married.
Canada or the US?
Canada.
The Premier League or La Liga?
Premier League, of course.
Barcelona or Real Madrid?
Barcelona.
Davido or Wizkid?
Both.
Davido or Wizkid?
I love them both. I'm
You
sorry.
are breaking the rules. Messi or Ronaldo? That can be hard, bro.
Messi.
Drake or
But I love Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean, but
Drake or Kendrick?
yeah.
Wow, this is difficult, man. Okay, I'll go with Drake.
One of these guys asked over there, actually, my mind went out of it. Any plans for an album?
Yes, I will put out an album when, you know, it's a demand and supply thing. When I feel like, you know, there's a true demand for it,
Yeah.
I will do it.
Do you have anybody on work out in your closest area to release?
Now, or are you asking about the previous?
Like right now, I know you.
Okay, you're okay. Oh, great. Yes, in a couple of days or weeks, I have a small fan base. People that have been following me since 2007.
Okay.
You know, so I'd put out something for them. I recorded recently 2 weeks ago with
Ego?
With Ego,
Yeah,
yes,
I saw
Ego
that on Instagram.
of Lagwaja fame,
I
yes.
saw that on Instagram.
You know, it's like an ode to Lagos. You know, it's titled Lagos City Lights. You know, so there'll be 2 versions, a piano version and then the proper
We're looking
version.
forward to that. So I've got
Produced by Spells.
other stuff to ask you,
Oh, great.
but
Right here or?
not here.
Okay.
What you do to me? My relevance is honorary to me. I'm cool, get a life, ain't nothing new to me. Well, you the ill rapper, me, I'm the sick rapper. Whatever you do, I'm always 2 steps further. Yeah, than the next man. Respect all, fear none, that's the slogan. My flow ridiculous. I flow more, you flow less. So let me guess, you hit menopause. God's chosen, my thoughts go.